wasn't what I wanted to see. But we protect our guy. Bronx, Saddle 4, Boom, Bam. Boom, Angel. Shaboomy! Hold this up for the Unholy Annex and we're feeling good. The fact that these are dodging their board wipes, you know what I mean? They sort of have to use it, don't they? Yeah. And we still get our 1/1. Got him, bro. Freaking got him. What's up? Get your Karadora, dude. We'll freaking, who cares what we get? Actually, you know what? We'll get our Gitrog, dude. Sheesh. Good game. And then we tap these two boys to saddle. Typically, you don't really want to do this, but it is good for, you sacrifice this for artifact stuff. Get rid of that shoulder. You absolutely have to. And now we can Anthem. Okay. Boom and bam. So boom and boom. Yo, thank you so much for checking out the video. It means a lot to me. This is a killer deck and I'm really excited to show off. I had to redo this intro like 3 times because I was just talking a mile a minute. I wasn't sure the exact angle because there are a lot of different cards. Yes, there's a lot of 1-ofs and 2-ofs, but if you give me just a second, I promise it'll make a little bit more sense. There is some reasoning behind it, so I hope you enjoy. We do have a sideboard for you best of 3 players. I think is really good. Certainly plugs a lot of the holes that the deck could have, but I think that the main list is definitely strong enough for best of 1 players out there. So Abzan Mounts, man. So Wizards has been giving us more pieces to really make this viable. Naturally, this deck is a little, I don't want to scare you away, but it is clunky in the sense that like when you lose 1 piece of your puzzle, the rest of your pieces aren't quite as strong. So when I explain the deck a little bit more, it'll make more sense. But typically, you need your creatures swinging to buff up your other creatures, etc., etc. So let's come back to the sideboard in a second. So what are the actual main cool cards here that really have just like high value here? Well, I don't know where to start exactly, but let's start with Miriam, the Herd Whisperer. This card is killer. By the way, Abzan, I think, you know, I'm not sure if Selesnya is just better because Selesnya would be a little bit more consistent and most of the important cards are white and green, but I think that the black cards that we do have are worth your while to give a shot at least. So this card though, just a flat buff on all of your mounts and vehicles that are swinging, which is great. And on your turn, you can protect your guys, which is great against certain heavy removal decks, right? Making it pretty awkward for some matchups. So great card, as well as that 3 power being very relevant, because again, some of the saddle costs in this deck are kind of expensive. Notably, the Caustic Bronco has a saddle 3, but let's come back to that, and I'll talk about Seraphic Steed. So this card is killer, man, because you can just really run away with the game. This guy can just pump out angels, and it is a nice little first strike lifelink sort of blocking a combat step, typically the turn that you lay or the turn after. So pretty cool card nonetheless, and we don't have too many flyers, so the flying angels is pretty important. But speaking of flyers, we do have the Lagorin, Soul of Alacria. So this card's a lot better than I think people think. There are a lot of 2 drops, especially in Selesnya colors, that you really want to play, so it's kind of tough, but I think 2/2/2 there is pretty good. It's what I ended up on after a lot of testing. And, this guy can put, if he swings a couple times while saddled, which is not too hard to do, you can put like 4 counters across 2 of your guys, which is great, including himself, right? So he can keep swinging. And typically most flyers that you're against are like 1/1s or something. So kind of a safe swing here, which is good. Now, as far as the other Selesnya cards, you have Anthem of the Champions. So I went with this because Innkeeper's Talent puts the counter at the beginning of combat. So you won't get that buff before you go to swing. And you have to saddle, by the way, at sorcery speed. So I don't know if you knew that, but saddle sorcery speed and crewing vehicles, in the case of like our lumbering world wagon, which again I'll come back to here, but very important, and your thunderous velocipede, that can be done at instant speed. So that's pretty cool for a number of different very small nuanced reasons, but just wanted to point that out. So just having a flat buff across all your guys is really nice. And they sort of have to remove this, or else, yeah, our combat steps are going to be successful, and we just keep snowballing in value. So, I guess to finish the 2 drops, Bronco, one of the better black creatures in combination with Gitrog, which I'll get to, can help us find cards because we don't have too much card draw or anything like that. So very important, as well as just being some nice random closing damage if we happen to hit something big, which could make a big difference as we try to trample through or just fly through. So very cool card here. Now, I did just talk about the Lumbering World Wagon. Again, we are playing 3 colors, so this card's important because sometimes that can really fix your mana in a way. We only have a 2 green here for Velocipede and a 2 black for Gix Command, but let's come back to Gix Command. So good card that can dodge board wipes, same with Velocipede, so very cool. This does have Trample, so any sort of counter synergy here is pretty nice because then you can trample through. Now what's really cool, I did mention Gitrog, is like if you have this on the field, then you lay your Gitrog, he'll get 3 counters, you'll have a nice Trample haste with 9 power, which is pretty killer. Now you can saddle this guy to draw a ton of cards off the top. If you saddle one of your larger creatures, this can be massive because you draw like 4 cards or whatever. But even if you're just saddling one, you're still getting a card off the top, and sometimes you don't mind doing that at all. It's basically at no opportunity cost most of the time. So very cool card here. Now, another really good card to tap down is your Rip Spawn Hunter. This can be massive. It is a 4-power guy, so that does perfectly enable your Steed, right? If you tap down, if you saddle your Steed with your Rip, then Rip is tapped. So then you can draw like 3 cards with this guy pretty easily, which is great because again we don't have too much card draw other than like Bronco if you include that as card draw. So pretty cool dude here. As far as the other 4-drops, since we are playing Abzan, play Thalia, right? What's probably best about this card, besides being a first strike death touch, which just completely stops them from swinging in, is it is 4 power if you have to tap him down, which again sometimes you won't want to because the first strike death touch, but most of the time that's fine because maybe you're not going to block with him anyway, or maybe you're just predicting some sort of removal anyway, because that's the reality of the world. But you'll still get an angel, and then if they do lay creatures, they will be tapped down, so you can keep on swinging, keep getting that combat damage, and keep growing your creatures. And if you do go past 5 mana, which is typically all you're really going to need in this deck, you can just sacrifice your lands to draw cards. So more card draw, stuff like that. So good card here. Why not play an Abzan, right? Caradora here is a cool card. I wish this had flying. It looks like it would. It should. But besides that, you do get to find a very specific mountain vehicle card, which is cool because we do have a lot of 1-ofs and 2-ofs and things. So you can find exactly what you need at the right time, as well as just being a way of doubling up the counter synergy, which we do have, right? Miriam is pumping out your counters across all your swings. This is pumping counters into things, so very cool, as well as being a 4-power guy, which will very nicely saddle this, or account for your saddle 3 cost of your Bronco, for example. And just you could use it to block if you don't have anything better to do. So good card here, I would say. Now, I guess we'll talk about Season of the Burrow next. What's really good is that, first of all, you can get back any of these mounts that have a lot of synergy with your other mounts and stuff, and they'll have an indestructible counter. Or just pump out a bunch of rabbit tokens, the amount that you'll need to properly saddle your stuff as well. So that helps a lot, as well as just being a catch-all for exiling non-target permanents. So our only real exile effect as well. So the modality of this card is killer. It really, really is. But same with Gix Command. Even though it's 2 blacks, I think 1 is fine. We do have 2 in the sideboard, and we have a really good sideboard again. I'll come back to that, though. So just being able to just wipe a whole bunch of small guys so our bigger creatures actually get to do their damage, getting around hexproof with that last part, and counter synergy, a little bit of a life link can keep you alive, so very good in that regard. So that's kind of cool. Now, as far as a good target for your Season of the Burrow, you have your Tumblewagg, because this can just be a constant counter, which is really, really good, as well as just like any of our big guys, say they have Trample, or say it's a flyer, maybe it's just like one of these angels, all of a sudden that guy is representing a lot of damage if you do double up the counters. So very cool here, I would say. So great card, just real nice with an indestructible counter because you can block all day with it, just pump it counters. Feels pretty good. I guess the last 3-drop would be your Fortune. Now we don't have too many, what's it called? Enter the battlefield triggers. But it is a 4 toughness guy, which is a saddle 1 cost, which can be kind of cool, but not too important to saddle him in really any regard. But that Scry 2 is pretty relevant, helping us fix that mid-game, next 2 draws, which is really, really good. So I like this guy. I think 1 is perfect here. He's legendary anyway. So that kind of makes a lot of sense in my mind. I sort of talked about Anthem of the Champions, did I? I don't know, but just that flat buff allowing you to saddle more efficiently. And again, as far as combat stuff, right? Like this puts a counter at the beginning of combat. So that's the reason I actually didn't play Innkeeper's Talent, is because you get that at the beginning of combat, which makes it a little awkward for sometimes for when you're trying to saddle and stuff. So I think this is just a little better, even though we have counter synergy, which is counterintuitive, I will admit, but I swear this has just been better in most situations, because I tried both. And yeah, just a good card here. So that's kind of cool. Even though there is some clunkiness with the beginning of combat stuff, but it shouldn't matter too much, but just something that you keep in mind as you maybe adjust the deck if you do. District Mascot is a great card from Aetherdrift as well, because this can just completely shut down artifact decks and stuff, right? Sometimes they just have to deal with this, and they're typically not playing too much interaction, those artifact decks, until later in the game. So you should be able to remove at least one very important artifact, which is great, and we do have one more in the sideboard, and again, I'll come back to that. So being that we do have so much counter synergy, I'll talk about the Bulwark Ox. Now, it looks a little weird that we have just one, but we do have so many 2-drops that we are trying to play. But what is a little awkward is sometimes like your important guy won't have a counter quite yet. Even though you can put counters by saddling this guy, but you have to wait a whole turn, and often waiting that whole turn is a little awkward. But yeah, sometimes this could just completely save you. So I think one is fine, but I actually went with Invasion of Gobakhan in the sideboard, which I'll talk about again in just a second. So as far as the 1-drops, what are we doing here? So Nesting Bot is a cool creature for obvious reasons, because you get 2 of them. Again, just, you know, in combination with one of your 1/1s, and your Miriam, you can crew your Steed. That feels pretty good. And you can often get to max speed, so all of a sudden he has 2 power, which helps crewing your, I don't know, your Tumblewagg, for example. You do need also crew for, you know, if I say crew or satellite, you know, interchangeably, then I apologize, but this is another crew 4 as well to consider. This is a crew 3, so some of these are a little higher. But Nesting Bot helps a lot just by being very resilient, as well as being a great target for some of our only interaction, really, which is Dusk's Reliquary, which can be very great because it does hit artifacts as well, sort of synergizing with your mascot. So pretty good against artifact decks, but just getting rid of a big creature feels pretty good. And then maybe your Season of the Burrow can sort of close the deal if there's anything that's putting tremendous pressure on you, because you do need to, again, keep swinging to get your value. So I only have 2 here and 1 cut down, so not too much interaction really other than these 2 cards, as I keep saying, but we do have a sideboard again. But I think in best of 1, you know, it's one of those things where this is just going to be great against the majority of decks, I would say, but sometimes we'll struggle. Mono red kind of does run us over with the Slick Shot, being that it's a flyer. We don't have large flyers until later and stuff, so I don't know. But yeah, I just thought that Sage would be fun because it's just like a 4th Nesting Bot, but it's 1 more flyer, which could be relevant. And I thought, why not? I guess since we're playing black anyway. So that's sort of the list. It's one of those lists where, yeah, you know, depending on what the opponent is doing, we could have a lot of trouble. But it is just so strong and synergistic that it should do good against most decks out there. And again, the mana base isn't too difficult. Just quickly point out we have 3 Fabled Passages and we have a lot of dual lands and stuff. So it's not unrealistic to find your second green or your second black. So as far as the sideboard, I guess we'll quickly point out that we do have 1 more cut down in here, which helps. Again, because sometimes there are some smaller creatures that you just got to remove early. We also have another District Mascot, which will remove more artifacts if you think that's going to be appropriate against those type of matchups. And 3 Duresses, because Duress is killer. This can just take out any of those board wipes that kind of completely shuts us down. So very important, and it ties very nicely. It sort of synergizes with Gobakhan, right? So I went with this over Bulwark, because Bulwark does have some creatures that it can't protect. But this not only protects all your guys when you sacrifice it once it's flipped over, you're also getting 1/1s on each creature. So pretty darn good card. I initially thought the Bulwark would be a little bit better, but I think that 2 of these in combination with the rest really shuts down some decks and makes their Sunfall cost 7 mana. So yeah, pretty good. Sky Seer's Chariot is a cool card. I kind of want another one of these in the sideboard, but I don't have another rare at the moment. But this can just be super good against Planewalkers. Artifacts like Ghost Vacuum, Agatha's Soul Cauldron. This can be just real good. Again, we only have one in here, so it feels a little weird to just have one, so probably two would make a lot more sense if you could fit it in. So something to consider. You know, you'll make that decision. And Paw Patch. We don't have too many ways of interacting with flyers, as I've said, and also enchantments. So this is a must. In fact, I almost want to put a fourth in here. And if they don't have any of those for whatever reason, at least we can draw a card, so more card draw. So it checks all those boxes. So great card here, one of the better sideboard cards in this current meta. Aven Interrupter. This is so cool with your Duresses and your Gobakans, just buying more time, stopping them from doing, you know, maybe your Gobakan, a big scary thing, they finally get to lay it, and then you Aven Interrupter. But what's kind of cool is you can do this to another card, and then being that you've already exiled this, it will just cost 2 more to cast regardless. So typically you don't want to target the same thing, but it could come up if that's what, you know, if you're holding up your mana. As well as just being another flyer, pretty darn good card. Now, we do have 2 more Gix commands, which is absolutely, again, a fantastic card. Sometimes that 2 counters can be massive for crewing stuff, for gaining life when you need to, as well as just wiping a whole bunch of smaller dudes so you can connect. Massive, get around exile and stuff for their largest guys. Sorry, hexproof. And that can be good. I've killed Valgavos with this, right? It feels so great. So very good to have 2 in the sideboard, I would say. And for the last super fun addition, I have Thrun, the Breaker of Silence. This is a cool card because anything that isn't mono green, it's super hard to deal with this. It has indestructible on our turn. It can't be countered when you cast it. So very good against some matchups. And I thought, hey, why not? And he does have Trample. So one more big Trample guy in combination with your Gitrog and maybe your Velocipede if you do end up connecting with it and stuff like that. So that is pretty cute. That's kind of the sideboard that I have, and I do think it is pretty darn close to perfect. I like it a lot. So fun deck. Again, as far as the mana base, 3 Fabled Passages, so you can do this early to find that second black if you have a Gix command in your hand, for example. And we do have enough like dual black lands and stuff, so it shouldn't be an issue. Tons of green cards, so the second white for Velocipede shouldn't matter. And as far as creature lands, you have 2 Restless Prairies, which can just be that closing little bit of damage. Definitely helps a lot. And 1 Restless Fortress, which is good. Yeah, just another good card. A little bit, I would say that Restless Prairie might be more relevant most of the time, but maybe that lifelink keeps you alive that 1 extra turn, right? So pretty cool card nonetheless. So pretty fun deck to play. I think that, I'm trying to figure out what card we need to really sort of tie these things together. And again, I'm not 100% sure that Selesnya is worse or better or whatever. You could totally lean into the Steed, for example. Miriam's an all-star. We now have Lagorin, right? This is great. You do have your Caradora, so there are some white mounts that do come to mind that I actually tried playing that I'm not playing anymore, so there's that to consider. This could be a really good card in the Selesnya build. I'm wondering if we need more interaction, but I think that you just pump out creatures. Board wipes are scary, and mono red is scary, but everything else feels pretty darn good, I would say. So, fun deck, man, fun deck. Thank you for making it through the intro, and hopefully you do check out some of the games. The first one, both are best of 3. The first one's a little bit quicker, a little bit easier. The second one's a little bit more in-depth, which is cool. We do make some really good sideboard decisions. So there's that. Yeah. So that's about it. Sorry I didn't post a video for a few days, a week. Life got a little crazy, and then I tried testing this deck. I even tried recording, but then I changed the deck up a lot and tried some new things, and this is what I ended up on. So yeah, big Gitrog boys, high value 2-drops, all the stuff. Fixing your mana base with your 3 colors feels pretty good. Dodging board wipes feels pretty good. Alright guys, I love you. Thank you again. I hope you have a great rest of your day. If you don't check out the gameplay, that's totally fine. If you're new around here, consider subscribing. Maybe like the video, help me out with the algorithm if you don't want to subscribe. At the very least, that would be very, very cool. And I love you nonetheless. See you in the next one. Bye guys. Alright guys, let's get into a game with our Abzan Mounts. I'm sort of redoing the recording that I did earlier, so hopefully we get some good games. We'll play first. Alright. We do have all 3 colors. Gix command is far away. I think it's good enough. Bronco can get you some cards off the top, right? So, something to consider. Okay. We might want to lead... No, I think it makes more sense to always lead this guy. Because this guy can start growing our mounts, which is actually very important. Now, Dusk Rose is typically for our nesting bots. We're only playing 3. It just gets removed anyway. And we do get a mana off the top, so that is really good. I think you do Bronco here. Because again, we do want to take advantage of if we get an attack off, right? Could be huge. Could be huge. We don't have too many 4-drops and 5-drops, so if we do hit one of them, we'll only take 4 or 5. Well, only 4 or 5, but you know, we could hit a land, which is best case scenario. Now this is excellent. Now this won't be able to saddle, but it does give us a really good swing here. Right, because you get this counter after, and you have to actually saddle at sorcery speed. I believe that crewing is not sorcery speed. I don't know if anyone knew that. And I guess I'm not 100% sure, but I noticed that. While playing this deck a couple days ago, I had so much stuff going on, and I couldn't. I don't know. I tried a couple days, and just, I don't know. I didn't feel like the deck was right, and I tweaked some things. I wanted to play a whole bunch of fun stuff. Okay, so 2 torches out. They're probably doing the Storm Splitter, which I have a great deck of this if you are interested. It's fantastic, actually. Okay. So I think you just... Oh, no, you need the green there. Well, if you... Okay, yeah, we can just take a damage. We'll be fine. I think that makes the most sense. Bulwark does protect our guys, but we need counters to do so. So initially I thought this card was going to be one of the best cards ever, but it's a little awkward sometimes. Because then you're just playing like a 2-2. It doesn't really do much, but we do have enough counter synergy. It should work out. Yeah, I have all of these same cards in that deck. Because this can untap your Storm Splitters once you start making copies. They are playing red, so it's very obvious it's coming. And this turns all of those copies into more mana. So you lay more cards, make more copies, blah, 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 and it keeps going. It's pretty insane, actually. So what we have to do is you got to get rid of this Valley Flood Caller here. We're working our way up to the Gitrog, which is okay. 'Tis okay. They only have a mountain up, so they can't protect it, right? Oh no, just kidding. I forgot they could. That's cool. So I was not playing town, but it makes a lot of sense to protect your pieces, especially if this has like an exile thing targeted at it, right? That'd be great because you have to have your enduring vitality to pull off what they're trying to pull off, and I respect this quite a bit. But actually, a Gix command here could kind of be massive in a way. Okay, makes a lot of sense. This won't do anything, but just to assert some dominance. This is fantastic, but now we're out of our saddle stuff. So Rip is massive, because you can immediately tap him down to saddle your things. But we should be potentially able to block. It's a little scary. Let's see. We probably want to grab Steed. Definitely. But really, if you stop the combo, I don't think this deck can do too much to us. They're playing a lot of weird cards. But this makes sense, because this is just mana, right? Because your dudes can tap for mana. And they do have haste. So, right, they get their rats, and then they tap them down. It's pretty cool. But they want to go for a larger play here. And we do get an untapped mana. So this is one of those weird moments here, in all honesty. Now, okay, we'll go for it. Let's go for the ride. Now, this looks a little weird, but we do want to do this. I am scared that this pumps twice. Right? But we're doing that because you do have to sacrifice this on combat damage. And we want to have our Rip tapped, because Rip will find us cards. And I think a Gix command next turn could be massive. Really depends what they're doing, man. What are they doing? Huh. Hides his hand, baby. Thanks for checking out the gameplay. You're one of the cool ones. Oop. Nah, they do have the friggin' town. But kind of interesting that they... I find that a little interesting. Okay, we can put a land, I suppose. It's okay. Actually, getting the Restless Reef down could be cool here, but probably not. Because I think he just kicks command anyway. They don't have their Storm Splitter, obviously. I feel like they would have played it. They could right now. Okay, they do go for the rats. So this is going to be massive here. That's cool. I just realized rats, and this also buffs rats. That's cool. Cool addition. I did not think of Song. My deck is still kick-ass, though. Trust me, you gotta check it out. It's pretty insane. And they get it back. Oh, no, they get Town. So they shouldn't be able to cast Town. Woohoo! Destroy. Get our guys back, right? I mean, Gitrog is obviously cool, but nah, get our guys back. Oh my god, that's so much value. That is so much value. We'll get Bronco. Okay. Young Giddy. Or speed's going up. Nah, the only thing that matters is you get a 1 attack boost on your nesting bots. That was probably devastating for him, really, in a way. Oh, sorry about my loud ass chair, and I realized I was slouching and my webcam's tilted higher than usual. Okay, so this is great because our mounts will get buffs when they attack. Wow, yeah, we had a killer hand there. We definitely had it. So let's see how we sideboard. Okay, so we definitely have an interesting matchup here. There are some good cards. They didn't seem to be playing too many flyers. There is the enchantment, though, of the Vitality, but do you want to invest all the way in there? I think we do play another Gix. Gitrog looked great, but we will take out a Gitrog for our Gix. We already showed it off, right? So that's a success. Fortune is kind of cool. Sometimes I like to sideboard out for the Aven Interrupter, which could kind of be massive. In fact, we're gonna do just that. Fortune will show its fangs, hopefully in the next one. Goba Canny. I think Goba probably is better than Ox, and they weren't playing too much. This is actually pretty darn good for some things. Maybe that's Storm Chasers, but also a Duress. So we'll take out a Infestation Sage, which is like our 4th nesting bot, for 1 Duress. I guess we'll just call it good. I think that our base deck is a kind of cool matchup. Maybe a Bronco for a 2nd Duress. Okay, I think that feels pretty nice. We'll go for it. Alright, so let's close out the deal, baby. So Lagorin's good, Miriam's good. This is a good hand, all things considered. A little slow, but we'll definitely take it. Definitely, baby. We will need 2 blacks because we can sideboard a 2nd Gix command. So that was like the one in consideration that maybe isn't quite necessary, but I do like some of the black mounts like Gitrog. The 4-drop Thalia is good, and obviously Caustic Bronco. 4-drop Thalia isn't a mount, but it fits in with what we're doing, I would say. Maybe not, though. But it is all the colors that we're playing, so. Let's Lagorin. Even though they are going to probably just return a bunch of stuff. This card here, so maybe I should have sideboarded in. Whoa, crazy sideboard moment, I would say. That's kind of huge. That's kind of huge, because this, yeah. So, kind of an awkward turn. But let's get our guys down here, okay? You can saddle with your bot. Okay. They probably do some sort of weird fight spell. Now this guy's at 3 power, that's good. We have to sort of work towards a victory here. Can't work towards surviving, but Screaming Nemesis is a huge problem. But we can Dusk Rose. There's a number of things we can get off the top. Got him. Okay, so we gotta do another one because that didn't show anything off. I kind of hate when that happens because I definitely want to see how the sideboard's playing, if they do at all. But let's get into another one. Thanks for making it this far anyway. Alright guys, hopefully we get a nice clean game here. LLLP. Now, when there's 4 letters like that, that's a scary player. Never going to underestimate someone like that. Okay, we'll take it. Because we can get the green here. I think we do that. Absolutely. They do have Shoulder as their avatar. Now, these players also scare me. By the way, guys, I got some new emotes. Oh, it's a Vine Lasher Tang. So it could be just lizards. It could be doing max speed stuff. This is a great max speed enabler, by the way. If you haven't put that together. Let's get our lifelink guy down. Yeah, it's vulnerable to removal. But I think you go for it. Unfortunate, unfortunate. We have a nice 3 power guy naturally here, though. Could block pretty much most lizards. Okie dokie artichoke. There. Now let's I guess I should have laid this plants. Okay, so I'm already messing up. But it's gonna be okay. I thought I was gonna lay Tumblewagg, and then after I laid that, I changed my mind. Ooh, that just gets removed. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I got a little excited. It's alright. It's 1 damage. Who cares? Just kidding. I probably care. As I die to lizard pings. Not the Unholy Annex. Can this hit enchantments? No. Artifact or creatures, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's put the counter here because we're gonna sacrifice bot anyway. Or do we save this for their demon or something that they end up laying? No, let's go for what I wanted to do. Now we could have put the counter on the guy so that we could saddle him, but I don't know. We're trying to go possibly. No, yeah, that was stupid. Damn. Guess I should know better against Rakdos here. This is a great card. Yeah, it gets us something that we want. Now, I'm not sure here. Okay, so Gitrog's good. Okay. This, we don't really need a ramp. We have a 5th mana in our hand. Steed isn't going to do much. This is a great card, but I'm not sure it's the move at the current moment. I think Steed, being that it makes flyers, there is so much removal going on. Do you just get Gitrog? We have the nesting bot. I think you just get Gitrog again. I guess we'll keep the land in case we have to weirdly discard a card here. What more counters will we put on a creature? +1 counters. Okay, cool. That's a cool effect. Okay, yeah, so I was wondering if I should have saved the whatever for that. But we do have a Gitrog swinging in here. Okay. So, I think you saddled this. We are going to get greedy, and we're going to swing with both. Yeah, okay. Makes a lot of sense. We could have maybe saddled with that, but there was a chance they didn't block. So we could have got 4 cheeky damage in. Getting flooded. This might be... I made some dumb early calls, but it'll be alright. It'll be alright. Well, we don't have a demon yet, but they're drawing 100 cards. Ooh, that's not what you want to see. That's not what you want to see. Let's swing. If we take out both of them, I think that's probably fine. Sure. I'm gonna not lay this. I'm gonna not lay this. I'm gonna trust the magic gods. Get a good surveil the turn after, I suppose. That was probably another stupid mistake. We do have Paw Patch, whatever, for this. Yeah, so they got us. Okay, I made some mistakes, and also just tough. So how do we sideboard? Okay, so first thing, absolutely 2 Paw Patches. Yeah, definitely those. Okay, so we could probably take out a World Wagon. Good card, but maybe not necessary at the current moment. There's certainly an argument for Duress, right? So we'll do probably 2 Duresses. We'll take out Sage and Cut Down. Well, Cut Down could be good too. So we'll take out a Bronco here. Probably a Gitrog here. We'll take out Fortune for Aven Interrupter. It is a flyer, but it also should slow them down, which could be good. Probably the Ox, even though it's good. Probably Gobakon here. There's also the Chariot, which will make their demon creation more expensive. That could be cool. Let's toss this dude in. This guy is fantastic. He really is. Now we have like 100 one-ofs. We're playing Commander, baby. We're playing Commander. Now that's probably okay. There's an argument you could take out Season of the Burrow. It's a little slow. No, let's keep it. We need the exiles for the annexes there. I think that'll be fine. 2 Paw Patch, 2 Duresses. Sky Sears can be really cool, and an Invasion. Okay, sure. Okay, we're back, baby. Let's play first. It's not the worst. Sure. We have the Paw Patch. We have the Dusk Rose. And the Aven, yeah, while I'm on it. Okay, let's get this white. Gonna be important. It's really that turn 3 when they get their Annex and they start finding their answers so quickly. It's a little tough. The black's actually really good. We probably want second white though with our hand currently, but and I think it makes the most sense to just get Steed. Even though it probably just gets removed, but I think you do it. If we could get 1 Angel activation, could make a huge difference. But also just early lifelink could be everything. Sorry. Okay, so they missed out on a ping there. I'm sorry, buddy. I hate when that happens. The Haven? Okay, so check this out. So you swing. This is a good swing here. You hold up the Haven. They're going to Unholy Annex, most likely, right? That's what we're mostly scared of. Okay. Boom, bam. Take our damage. Okay. Ooh. Wasn't what I wanted to see. But we protect our guy. And now they're in an awkward position. Okay. Baby. Okay. So Bronx. Yeah. Bronx, saddle 4, boom, bam. Boom, Angel. Shaboomy! Hold this up for the Unholy Annex and we're feeling good. Oh my god! It's a Vine Lasher ping. Kind of thought they'd get that Annex down, but it doesn't make sense because then they start taking a lot of damage. I think this is kind of tough. Let's draw the card. Oh, the Annex is everything though, right? Isn't it? Yeah, the Annex is everything. We have to pop it. It's like essential that we do, I would say. Feels kind of awkward to not be mana efficient, but except we do draw a card. Okay, we're doing it. I changed my mind. Draw the card. It's a stupid surveil land anyway, so at least we got that out of the way. This isn't horrible. It's not horrible. Okay, let's get this down. I guess I should have seen. Let's actually do this first. We should have seen what we surveilled first. We're gonna need a little bit more closing power, I think. We could saddle 3. That's probably worth it. Okay, let's saddle 3. Boom and bam. That's not too bad. Now, let's be mana efficient with this as well. Let's just show our hand. Show them that we got no instant speed, nothing. Go for it, bro. Lay your Annex. That's not recommended, by the way. I don't know. I hate when like priority holds for so long like that. Okay, so the shoulders. Okay, so wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh. Now there is a world where we remove that shouldered. We could lay. Actually, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so you use this right now to oops, almost made a mistake. To saddle. Typically, you don't really want to do this, but it is good for so you sacrifice this for artifact stuff. Get rid of that shoulder. You absolutely have to. And now we can Anthem. Okay, boom and bam. So boom and boom. And we draw a land, so we don't even lose that much. We don't lose life. We don't need this, but I guess it's better than. Okay. We keep the planes in case there's, I don't know, a discard effect. That would be so random because they'd be dead on board. But, okay, got them. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. So the deck looked good there. It looked good. Yeah. So it's like, do we need to overcompensate here? Probably. The Gix is actually kind of nice for getting rid of just sort of a board wipe, lifelink. I think Gix is good, but it's kind of like if you the duress. We have 2 duresses. We have 2 Dusk Roses. District is just a 1/1 we can play early. I think you just kind of keep it how we had it. There's an argument for another cut down, but again, we're kind of 2 drops are clogged. But I think we have just enough. Nah, we're good. We're good. I don't know. All right, so hopefully I don't regret not sideboarding. We're getting these slow. Well, I guess it's better than the other way around. This is an awkward hand. If you get a black, we're good. If we get a second green, we're good. For all the money in China, baby. I don't know, my dad would always say that. I don't even know what it means anymore. My dad's so stupid. Pretend I never said that. Okay. Okay, so you lay your district. So then you can plains, bot, Dusk, but again, we want to save that for the children or the demon or whatever. Mostly with flyers, right? Because our flyers that we do have are small. Okay, so this is the good start your engines card. Is it any target? Oh no, it's opponent, right? Okay. So there's a world where... Okay, so what's kind of cool is, again, I really like the fact that you can saddle with your guy, right? And then you Dusk Rose. And then you get a 1/1 while taking out this guy. Now this is typically just because it's going to be an annoying blocker for our smaller guys. Just get it out of the way, I suppose. We're sort of risking it for the biscuit because we have a slow looking hand right now. Okay. Oh, man, dude. Okay, guys. How do we get out of this pickle? Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I was waiting for. Now, of course, we don't have our friggin' Dusk Rose, so maybe that was premature. Maybe it was. But now we can use this turn that we wouldn't have otherwise to get this guy down. Or do we get the... Actually, the wagon. Actually, the wagon, because we got to get the black. Well, we don't have to get the black. We have to get the mana, so we can Cardora here. I don't think we die for no reason. Yeah, no. We big chill. This can be a lot of damage later if we end up clearing the way. Really regretting that early Dusk Rose now. Sorry. Yeah, absolutely. Do it while you can. Okay, goodbye. And I guess it just makes sense to do this. Yeah. Boom, bam, and bang. If we get our 5 drops. Okay. Does it get removed? No. Okay. So, we have 2 whites. So, we actually do get the second black. We do get the second black in case we get gigs. Looks stupid. Because, again, it's our least prominent color. Oh, we did get the attack buff there. Okay. Alright. Nothing? Dude, that's huge. Wait, hold on. Duress? Dude. Nice. Yeah, crew is instant speed. So crew is better than saddle in most scenarios. Oh. So that is, let me read this again, 30 creatures. So I think you get this down because we don't want to lay Caradora and just have it die, right? Absolutely not. Okay, you can't like immediately swing or anything, but at least we get 6 damage in here. I don't know, planes, sure, why not? Okay. The fact that these are dodging their board wipes, you know what I mean? They sort of have to use it, don't they? Yeah. And we still get our 1/1. Got him, bro. Friggin' got him. What's up? Get your Caradora, dude. We'll friggin', who cares what we get? Actually, you know what? We'll get our Gitrog, dude. Sheesh. Good game. And then we tap these 2 boys, and we schwinn. Cool, dude. So the deck looked good. Okay, back to plat 2. Cool.